Started mine.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions, and welcome to Too Loud, Too Old Music. This is a very special episode. I've got my buddy John T. Snow here with me. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Tim?
Good, good. This is an episode that we've been talking about doing for quite a while. For me, it's an update. It's a much needed update because I have done this subject before, but got more to talk about. And I'm curious to see what John's got. We're talking about our Kiss 8-track collections. I love doing these 8-track episodes, and but I'm really looking forward to seeing which versions of the albums that John and I each have, because obviously these albums they came out several times in several
Yes.
countries, retail versions, record club versions. So yeah, let's not waste any more time.
All right.
Let's get started with the first Kiss album, 1974. What's John got? Oh, well,
I have.
what do you know? We
We have
got
the
the
same
same
one.
one. This is a US RCA Music Service version. Um,
Yeah.
I like the yellow. I it's a you never know what color you were going to get with the record club tapes, but I like it.
No, I like it too. And this is the one with Kissin' Time.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that collectors, will want to find is the original Casablanca when they were distributed by Warner, so it looked like a Warner tape and it doesn't
Yep.
have Kissin' Time on it. I'm perfectly happy with this. It's a
I am, but I'll be honest with you, I am looking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'll one if I find one that's a decent price, I will grab it.
Now
Because
that doesn't mean if I see one, available, I won't go for it too. But
it's like with the vinyl. I have one with it and one without it on vinyl.
yeah, I don't have one without. So well
Yeah.
done. That's an
That was a
achievement.
hard one to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's certain benchmark albums with Kiss collectors versions of albums that are sought after for those reasons.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll stick in 1974 for the second album, Hotter Than Hell.
All right.
Aha. Okay. So now here's where it's interesting because John's in the States, I'm in Canada.
I have a Canadian version.
I've got a US copy.
And
John has a
mine's Canada.
Canadian copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very obvious from looking at it. And I can already see the songs are in a different order. Now, 8 tracks are always mixed up, but even
Yeah.
so John, give us a rundown of the
All right.
track
So,
listing on that.
coming home, strange ways, watching you beginning, and then watching you continued, all the way, going blind, hotter than hell, let me go rock and roll, got to choose beginning, got to choose continued, parasite, and mainline.
This is so weird. Mine is almost completely different. But I think it's kind of cool that yours starts off with coming home. They predicted unplugged
They did. Yeah.
many years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
My,
this version is go ahead.
mine belongs to Barry McGibbon in Canada. That's
Hmm.
somehow I have his version.
Well, mine belongs to somebody named Ramos.
Oh
I'm
wow.
I'm thinking it's Ernesto. That's his last name. He
Uh,
wants this, but he probably found one that's in better shape. No. So this version, this is actually a U.S. Casablanca version on Ampex when they had a deal
oh,
with Ampex tapes to
okay.
distribute these. So this would have been post. Uh, the first album's the only one you'll see with Warner distribution, but this would have been very close to that time. And there's also a sticker on the back of this from SN 30-day warranty, and it's dated February 11th, 1975. So I don't know
Wow.
if this was a used thing, but this is the order of the songs on my copy of Hotter Than Hell. We're not going to do this every time, folks, but it's just weird that even within 8 tracks, they're different.
Yeah.
Program one is Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go Rock and Roll and Coming Home. Program two is Parasite, All the Way, Going Blind, Beginning. Program three, Going Blind, Conclusion, Watching You, Strange Ways. And program four, Got to Choose and Mainline. And then, so the first three programs all say they're 827 in length, and the fourth program says 748. So after that, it says, due to programming, there's 39 seconds of silence between program four and one. A fascinating insight.
well, what's even more fascinating is different songs that were doing the beginning and then the end where they click over. Mine are different than yours.
I'm guessing that yours, even though it doesn't list it, I don't think, are probably more equal in length. There's probably very little difference. And that was the whole point. That was why they shuffled the songs around. That's why they had to
Yeah,
split songs. So it was so that you didn't have to fast forward for a long time before getting to the next program.
right.
All right, so now we're up to the third Kiss album, 1975, Dress to Kill. Okay.
Mine is mine is in a shiny Casablanca
Yeah.
tape, and then I'm going to pull it out so we can see it.
Yeah.
But mine's a little different than yours.
Yeah, mine's a US Columbia House issue.
Yeah. Mine is a US as well, but it's just a normal,
It's a retail. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a retail version.
And mine belonged to someone named Dill or Dilly, Dille, it looks like. So
This one
um,
is mine now because this has no one's name on it.
there you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so this at Columbia House at the time, you could kind of tell because they used a real small writing, although it doesn't say Columbia House on here. I've seen enough of these to know this is a Columbia House tape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, geez, this mine looks like it's got mold on it. It's the first Kiss Alive album, 1975. Aha. So we each have a Canadian one, but yet the casing is different.
Oh.
Because if you look on the side, it's got the grooves in here.
Yeah, mine's straight. Yeah.
So nothing on the back of mine. What's yours look like on the spine?
On the spine.
Okay, so very, very similar.
Yep.
Uh, and Yeah, so mine is Casablanca, and this is when Casablanca was distributed in Canada by Quality Records. It says at the
Yes, mine
bottom of
says
it.
the same
Yeah.
thing. Manufactured in Canada, quality records,
But
and
all
it's Casablanca.
look at all the blotches on here though. Like this is it's kind of nasty looking.
Yeah, that does. Mine's pretty
Yeah. Yeah,
decent.
yours is in good shape. I'm
Yeah.
guessing this had been this had gotten water damage. Although there isn't a lot of bubbling on the label itself, and this is
Yeah.
also one that I actually found in the wild, so that's worth something because it's getting
You know,
harder and harder to find good quality, rock eight
I've
tracks out
never
there.
found a Kiss 8-track in the wild. All of mine have been bulk. Like someone will be selling a bunch of them. So that I'm gonna have some duplicates coming up
Awesome.
because I'm trying to get that one, and it's with four others. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, I
Oh
want that
yeah.
one.
Yeah. All
So
right, next up, Destroyer 1976. Let's see what each of us have. This I
I
got
think we have the same one.
Okay, so I've got Canadian copy. Yeah, and I think you've even got the same mold shape.
Yes, it is. It goes
Now when I say mold, I mean the shape. I don't mean
right. It's that
it's
indention right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
spots of mold. So yeah, this looks very similar. And
Yeah.
again, this is distributed by Quality Records. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So
All right, so the next thing to come out, we know Kiss did two albums in 76, but before that, Casablanca released you know, trying to capture the Kiss Mania, so they reissued the first three albums as the originals. So, oh, you got a Canadian
I have a
one
Canadian
tape.
version.
Yeah.
Now, all my Canadian versions came from a friend who had a bunch and he just sent them to me.
Okay.
So,
So
but
yeah,
yeah.
so this is on two tapes, no matter where you got it. These are let me see. So these are U.S. Retail
Yeah.
Casablanca ones, and yeah, I mean when that originally came out, that that Canadian version you've got there, I'm not sure about the US one, but that Canadian version came in it both the tapes were like this
Oh,
and it
okay. Like a
came in
long
this and
box.
it came in a
Yeah.
long box, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's real easy to spot the Canadian one because it's got English and French on it. Of course, I don't have that and those
Yeah.
things
Well,
usually get
I
thrown
only
out.
have part one. I do not have part two. So that one I'm on the lookout for,
Yeah.
which I don't know if I'll ever find it just solo.
Well, it took me a long time to find both tapes of Rush Archives, which is the exact same thing. It's the first three albums on one package. So,
Mhm.
but then someone happened to have, I saw like, again, it was a bunch of tapes, and I saw it and I'm like, which one is that? Oh, it's number two. That's the one I need. So, Yeah. They said,
Awesome.
"Oh, sorry, I've only got number two." I'm like, "That's fine. I've got number one." Now this one's really funny. Next up, 1976, Rock and Roll Over.
I have
Oh,
that.
that is a U.S. Columbia House issue,
It is.
and in very good shape. I used to have one like that that was in considerably rougher shape. So,
No, this one is really in
yeah,
spectacular shape. It's
wow,
pretty clean. It's
yeah,
probably the cleanest one of the cleanest ones I have. Now there is some rays
yeah,
in
yeah.
there
That's
label.
pretty hard to avoid with those. It seems to
Yeah.
happen, but now what's funny about this one? I can't remember where I got this. I think I got it off eBay, but whoever had this originally was named Tim. So thanks for that. Yeah. So again, this is still Casablanca distributed by Quality. Eventually, I think by the time the solo albums came out, which we'll get to, they had switched distribution to Polygram, which I find interesting because that means that they Casablanca was distributed by Polygram in Canada a couple years before they were in the US because
Okay.
I don't think that happened till around 1980, 81. So,
Okay. Yeah.
next one is one that I've had for a long, long time. This was found. I tell this story in my Unspooled book about my buddy Chad working at a bottle exchange and somebody coming in with a garbage bag full of 8 tracks, and this was one of them. Love Gun.
Oh, awesome. Mine's in a
Very,
nice
yeah.
case.
Mine's not nice anything. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's
Got a tear on it. Yeah. Wow. That's shiny
yeah,
practically.
this one's another one that's in really good shape. A little scuffed back here, peeled
Bad.
down,
Not bad. I mean, even
but
the
yeah.
wow. Um, this one's interesting too. I've told this story a lot, but this goes back far enough where I actually had a working 8-track player. There's a baseball game recorded over this, so you can hear you can hear, the commentary or whatever, and you can kind of hear music underneath of it.
That's funny.
Yeah, so pretty rough shape on this one.
Yeah.
Now, next up is an interesting one because depending on where you get it, it's either one tape or two. Um,
Yes.
so I've got Canadian version of Alive 2, 1977,
Yep, I've
and
got the Canadian version, 2
okay,
LP.
yeah, and this one, okay, so this one is distributed by Polygram, Polydor,
Same thing.
same
Yeah.
company, yeah. So yeah, and yeah, not bad shape.
Yeah.
Um,
It says Rock Steady on the back.
Yeah, yeah, same. And you can tell, like John, holding the live albums compared to the other albums, they're heavier.
This, yeah, I mean, there's,
They've got twice as much,
yeah, you
it's
can,
about
there's
Love
a
Gun,
difference.
they got twice as much tape inside of them, even though they're the same
Yeah.
size. Yeah.
Now, this is one I have duplicates.
Okay.
I have a US black and white shell.
Yeah.
I have one in the original Casablanca case,
Oh, and
and
that's
it's two whites.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got the slip cases are together.
It's one big slipcase.
Yeah. Wow. I've never seen that before. That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Okay.
the first time I've ever seen that
That's
as
how
well.
you know I mean, anybody could stick two of them together, but it was made for that. So
It, yeah, it
that's
was
a
made.
that
So
came with
yeah,
it.
and these are, I don't need three copies. It's just these are some that came with ones that I wanted.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next thing I've got is double platinum from 78.
All
And
right. And again,
mine is on 2 tapes. And let's see what you've
I
got
have
for.
three different versions of this as well.
Okay, so
All right.
this is a US RCA music service version
Oh,
of double platinum. You can now how do
yeah.
I know that? Well, because on the very bottom of the album cover art, it's kind of hard to read, but it'll say manufactured by RCA Music Service under license. So these are not retail Casablanca ones.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that's one way of knowing what to look for there. That looks like a Canadian one, and
This is a Canadian, so it
in
is both LPs on the
on
one.
one, and that's I mean that's what they should be because yes, there are 20 songs on double platinum, but they're short songs.
Right.
And
And
also, that's
then
not the original slipcase because I believe that's an Anthem.
it's
So
an Anthem
so
case.
that probably either had a Rush tape or maybe Max Webster.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah,
Then I have a black and a white one.
yeah, those are slick looking.
Uh, and then I have two blacks.
That is so interesting. Well, y- you know, what's really interesting, if you like me and you collect the later 80s ones, that whatever you could find, sometimes when they were making them, they had like top half would be black, the bottom half would be white. My
Oh, I don't have any of those.
my 5150 looks like that.
Okay.
So, but it's 5150, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, so now we get to the solo albums, and the way, if anybody's interested, the way I've always put these in order is by the original Casablanca uh, serial numbers. So 7120 through 7123, and
Yeah.
7120 is Gene's album, which I've
And I
got
have
here
it on,
in a Canadian
yeah,
issue.
mine's
So
US.
yeah, now mine's got a chunk out of the corner, as you can see.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it looks the same on the back as your the Alive 2 that we had.
Yeah. And mine, it feels a little loose,
Yeah,
the shell, but otherwise it's in spectacular shape.
7121 is my favorite of the four
Mine
aces.
too.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
we got the same.
No.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, close.
We both got retail Casablanca, but mine's white on the spine and also the
Mine
lines,
wraps.
yeah,
Oh,
very mine is, but it's not as bold.
oh,
So not nearly as bold. And
yeah.
it's yeah, white on the side. So that's cool. Next one, 7122. I can't tell from the side of it, but Peter Chris's album, yeah.
Yeah.
And we might have the same, yeah.
Yeah.
See, mine's
Yeah, yours is a little roached a little
yeah,
there on the end.
yeah. And I think we got the same, yeah, we got the same version, I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think so.
And then finally, I had another American one, but I got this, the one I'm about to show you. So I gave the other one to Mike Ladano, who says this is one of his all-time favorite albums. So,
Yes.
so it's Paul's album. I quite like.
Oh, I think it's my second favorite
Yeah.
of the two.
Yeah, I had that version you've got right there. So I've got another. So I've got Paul and Gene's Canadian and Ace and Peters US.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, next up is another one of the oldest ones that I've got. And actually, the first time I heard this album was a lot of these songs were on 8 track, listening to this 8 track. And it's one of my favorite Kiss albums, Dynasty.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got somebody's initials on it,
Yeah, see
CU.
you.
Yeah. You could see this inside the Unspooled book too.
Yeah.
So, and this is actually,
Oh.
this one is a Canadian Casablanca, but it's actually a Columbia House tape,
Oh.
and the only way you can tell it's a Columbia House tape is on the very bottom here. It says distributed by Columbia House instead of saying distributed by Polygram.
Oh, okay. So no CRC or anything like that.
Not on this one. I'm guessing that information must have all been on the slipcase, maybe. And also another way that you can tell is usually with Columbia House, you'll have the serial number, then you'll have a number in brackets. But
Okay.
either they weren't doing that yet, or I don't know. I don't know what the story is. So folks, if you're interested in collecting Kiss in this format, because there are a lot of Kiss collectors that don't collect 8 tracks per se, but they collect everything Kiss.
Yep.
You could probably go on eBay or Discogs now and get most of these in some form or another from the first album through Dynasty.
To
The
Dynasty.
originals might give you trouble.
That one will give you a lot of trouble.
That'll give you some trouble. But as far as the studio albums, the 2 live albums, the solo albums, double platinum, you can go get them. From here on in, we're talking about albums that are off the beaten path and you can expect to pay a little more for them. So
Yeah, that is true.
we'll start this off with 1980. We're entering the 1980s with Unmasked. And oh man, that is a nice looking copy. You've got a retail, and this is
Yeah.
when the polygram tapes were in that beige.
Yeah, this is the beige.
Yeah, just like the cassettes were, like the cassette cases were that beige
Yeah.
color. I like the looks of that. The, the one I got here is a U.S. Columbia House one that's sealed,
Sealed.
still in its. Now I don't know if it's the original seal, but it's still in its
Yeah.
slipcase anyway. And this one does say CRC
Okay.
on the side. And so there you go. That's my
Very,
copy
very
on
nice.
Unmasked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I
That was the
un
last one I got.
Unmasked you just don't see very often. There's I saw a Canadian, I think a Canadian copy on eBay once, and I already had this one, so and
Yeah, there's a
and it
few
was
on eBay.
expensive.
There's
Yeah,
a few on eBay right now, but you're gonna pay $100 for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I got lucky, and this was mixed with four of them,
yeah,
and he had it listed for 99, and I went in. I said, "Can you do 84?" Just a random number.
yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Well, that's not that much lower, and if somebody's serious about selling, they don't want to hold on to this stuff forever. So
Right.
it's
And the
better to
fact that
take,
it came with four other albums.
yeah, and better it's better to
Okay.
take a sure thing as far as selling than be
Right.
2 years and you still haven't sold it.
Yeah.
So I've only got two more to talk about. I'm still missing a couple. Um, one of my prized possessions, music from the Elder, and this is a U.S. retail. And by this time, yeah, they were fully distributed by Polygram. It says right here, distributed by Polygram
Yeah.
Records.
Man.
That's what it looks like on the side. I don't actually know if there are record club versions of this. This was such a small or a low selling album.
Yeah.
I happen to be one of those freaks that like it. By the way, if you like this album, get Joey Casada's book, Order of the Rose. I had Joey on to talk about it. Um, one of my grails is the album that you've got just above your head, Creatures of the Night.
Yes.
And I've only ever seen a copy that would look something like this. I've only
Okay.
ever seen a retail copy. Which is interesting because it did sell better than the Elder. So, I mean, when you get into that, you're thinking, okay, well, I've got at least three. There's at least three copies of this that were made. I can only say that it was made on retail. I can't say there was a retail record club copies made. And also, the other curious thing is that I suppose it's possible that the non-makeup cover from 1985 might have been issued by Columbia House and or RCA Music Service. I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah,
But
I've never ever seen that one.
but I mean, I'm telling you, you can look on Discogs now and it's got the cover. It just looks so good. It's just, and yeah, it's one of my girls, as is Lick It Up, which is the first one to come out that did not have uh, a retail version. There were no retail versions of Lick It Up. And I've only ever seen a US Columbia House one, which is where you've got the blue border around the
Right.
cover, and I have never seen one for sale.
I've seen one, and it was the John Humphreys auction when he was selling off his collection. He had, I think it was Dynasty, Unmasked, Elder, Creatures, Lick It Up, and the next album, Animalize, and most of them were sealed, and he did them in a bundle. I don't know what it ended up going for. I think it was over 2,000.
Oh yeah, you were giving me play by play on that, and
Yeah.
it got out of hand really quick because again, you're not just dealing with 8-track collectors, you're dealing with Kiss fans, and Kiss fans are crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah, I had to stop once it hit a
Yeah,
certain number.
yeah. So I was fortunate enough earlier this year to score this
Oh,
Animalize,
yes.
the last known Kiss album to be manufactured on 8-track.
That
And
is
now that I
awesome.
think about it, because maybe Look It Up looks like this too. Maybe it doesn't have the blue border. I can't remember. I have seen it
Yeah.
because they didn't always use it. They used it a lot of the time. So there's you've got the polygram serial number. Um, and that's what it looks like on the side. Very generic, and that's what all of the Columbia House looked like because they all look the same no matter what the
No matter
originating
what. Yeah.
label was. So, and this one is the only one I have that's strictly on Mercury.
Yeah. That is
Um,
awesome. I'm jealous.
so Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up are still floating around for me. I would love to have.
And
And if you're interested in collecting other things that are related to Kiss, I have seen Peter Criss Out of Control. Um, boy, I don't know what else there would be.
was there a Killers?
No, because that never came out of North
That was
America
strictly a
originally.
Europe thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in Europe they made 8-tracks, but I think they stopped making them a lot sooner. Now
Yeah.
the other thing about Creatures about well, really let's start with the Elder. that give you a little bit of hope. They did make these in Canada through 1984. Columbia House stopped making 8 tracks in 1984. So it is possible that you could, there is a Columbia House version of Animalize in Canada, and probably one for Lick It Up too. Actually, Lick It Up, the song, I think hit number 33 on the charts up here. It was a top 40 single, and it was, I think it peaked at 66 in the States. So,
Yeah.
so it would have been a very big album. So it is possible. Just, I mean, like I said, I've been looking for the Animalize for years. Finally, it came up on my radar. But what's really weird is that, not that I've seen this many times, but I've seen it come up more than Lick It Up or Creatures, which is to say I've seen it come up. I
Oh,
lost,
okay.
I had, I had to buy it now in front of me on eBay once for this, and it was like $150, and I was hemming and hawing, and I
I
thought,
probably would have just bought it.
yeah. I said, I just can't. And I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and I checked and it was gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Um, but fortunately, is it the same copy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there it is, folks. My collection, John's collection of Kiss on 8 track. Always a lot of fun doing these 8 track episodes, and it's really fun when I can find a fellow collector to bounce these things off of.
Yeah.
Love
And I
seeing
don't
the
collect
alternate.
many 8 tracks.
I
I mean,
love seeing the alternate versions of them.
yeah. And for me, Kiss is really the only one I've gone crazy on 8 tracks. I've got a bunch of others, but that was my focus. And then the others just came with trying to buy these and stuff. So, but yeah, it was fun. Now I'm on, now it's a slow drag until I can find those final four.
Yeah, yeah, you can, like I said, you could start a Kiss collection really easily
Yeah, cheap. Yeah.
but all in all those 70s ones, really,
Yeah.
except for the originals. But it's the 80s ones that will, in some form or another, present you with some sort of challenge. When pretty weird to think about it, there are 5 Kiss albums from the 80s that are on 8 track because they were so prolific. It was like bang, 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 an album a year.
Yeah.
So there you
And
go.
twice a year sometimes. But that was the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah. So John, thanks for doing this. Folks, don't forget to subscribe to Too Loud, Too Old Music. Always great content from there from John. And if you haven't hit subscribe on my channel, please do the same if you're interested in 8 tracks. My book Unspooled talks all about this phenomenon. So if you're very perplexed as to the existence of an album like this, or how about albums from 85, 86,
86,
87,
seven.
88?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, this is the last Kiss one that I know of.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the general consensus. Why did they stop with this one? I don't know. Anyway, uh, thanks for watching this edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions. If you're out there looking for some of these 8 tracks, happy hunting, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks.